So the word on the block is not to go for the medium ugly guys. The guys that are sort of kind of cute, sort of kind of ugly, but then also maybe don't have as many options as the 10 out of 10 hot, beautiful men out there. What ends up happening sometimes is that you end up falling for these medium ugly guys. He then has the confidence, thinks that he can pull bad bitches, and then he goes on and finds some other girl to be with. What just happened? I didn't even like you, and then I ended up falling for you. Now my heart is broken by a guy that's not even attractive. I might as well go for the attractive guy, because at least if I'm going to get my heart broken, it's going to be by a hot guy. Here's the problem with that. You're going into dating with the absolute wrong mindset. If you are only going for the 10 out of 10 guy, the guy that's so hot that everyone wants, I get it. They're aesthetically pleasing. You want something pretty to look at. You might feel like it's going to make you feel prettier being around his presence. But what I can say is that these men, more often than not, never want to settle down, have way too many options, more options than they know what to do with, probably aren't going to treat you the best that they can. Here's my full take on the hot guy and why you shouldn't go for the hot guy. Welcome back to another episode of Way Too Wifey. I am your host, respectfully Gabby, and in this podcast we talk all things dating and relationships in this modern day. And if you are new here, hi, I'm Gabby. I'm an online dating coach where I help you transform your confidence to live your best lives inside and outside of relationships. You guys, it all starts from within. You might as well feel like your best full self before getting into a relationship, before settling down, and then when you do feel like your best self, then you start to attract the best of the best. Guys that aren't going to actually break your heart, okay? So fixing yourself first is everything that we go over in my 8-week transformation course. So please, if you have not done so already, check out the stand link in my bio. And I also have some other options in there, so feel free to just explore. If you have not done so already, please leave that 5-star rating, leave that thumbs up. Turn on your bell notifications so you'll never miss another episode. Hit that subscribe button. And for everyone who's already done so already, I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you so much. Today, I am in Nice. I'm actually in a hotel. I don't usually stay in hotels, honestly. I think being in an Airbnb for so long, for the past almost 4 months now, I don't think I like staying in hotels. I feel like I want to feel like I'm at home. I just feel like I'm living in a suitcase in a box and I feel trapped. And I just don't like that people are monitoring when I leave and when I come home. Regardless, it's not that bad. I'm only staying here for a couple days, going into an Airbnb. So next episode, I'll be somewhere else. Anyway, I'm here in the hotel and I wanted to talk to you guys because I've been thinking about this. And I have some friends that are such face card friends. And what I mean by that are that their preference is to go for the 10 out of 10 guys. And then it never ends up working out. And then sometimes they'll fall back into the pattern of, okay, well, maybe I'll go for the kind of cute guy that's kind of a little bit ugly. And then they end up getting their hearts broken. I'm like, maybe it's just the guys that you're selecting that are not the best. Just a thought. The perfect sweet spot is to go for the guy that's not the 10 out of 10, because I promise you, the guy that is the most attractive in the room, he's never had to work a day in his life to get anything he wants. Okay, because I'm not even gonna lie, I have been with beautiful men, men that are models, men that are so attractive. And then at the time, I think maybe more so in my younger years, that this is what I would go for, is going for the beautiful men that you want so bad, literally everyone wants. And then once you attain them, it's like, now I'm insecure. I'm feeling terrible about myself. I now have to compete with all of the best women out there, and I don't feel like I'm enough. And I think a lot of times we end up going for the 10 out of 10 guys because we think in our heads, maybe I don't feel as pretty. So if I get that 10 out of 10 guy, I will feel validated because I'm around beauty and he has accepted me. So therefore, I now feel like I am worthy and I'm attractive, when in actuality it does the complete opposite. It will turn your insecurities inside out. Going into it, you're like, oh well, maybe I'll feel validated and I'll feel attractive. I've never felt uglier I've never felt uglier than being with a super, super attractive guy. I remember the very first attractive guy that I have talked to, literally 10 out of 10. This was in high school, the first time. Literally everyone in our high school wanted this guy. He was the most attractive guy in the high school, okay? And the second that he wanted me back, we were like just kind of vibing. My insecurities were raging. Every girl did not like me because they knew I was talking to him. I don't even want to be a part of this anymore. So naturally, I just self-sabotaged the whole thing and was like, I'm out of this because this doesn't feel good. I don't feel good. And I thought that I was getting a reward out of this. It was just triggering all of my insecurities that came up. And this has happened, time and time again since then of, okay, well, this attractive guy likes me. I might as well give him a chance. And then what ends up happening, I end up liking him. And then I'm like, oh my God, now I don't feel good enough. I don't feel like, why does he want to be with me? He has so many options. Like, you start to get all of these insecurities that come up. And maybe this isn't a constant thing. And maybe you are in a good place where you do feel confident about yourself. But more often than not, these things are going to come up. If you're going for the 10 out of 10 guy always, you have to face the fact that he's going to have options. He's going to have options lined up. He's probably not going to want to work for you. He's probably not going to be the best husband that he can be because he literally has not had to work for girls his entire life. All he's had to do is sit back, chill, and women will come to him. Women will flock to him because he's a beautiful person. Then you get to know him, okay? And usually these super attractive guys never really have a full personality. I get it if you want to be with someone attractive. I'm not saying go for the ugly guy. You want to be attractive to whoever you go with, right? If you're only going for the top tier men, ask yourself why this is. Because you can still be attractive to someone who's not the 10 out of 10 who will actually treat you right. Because the 10 out of 10 guys, he has so many girls that will literally do anything and everything for him. I think this is why I got out of my athlete phase too, because obviously athletes are desired and a lot of women want to be with them. A lot of women feel like if I end up with them, then I will feel validated that now I'm top tier girlfriend or wife, when in actuality, all this does is breed insecurities. I went through an athlete phase. All this did make me feel like I wasn't enough. I'm not saying that it will never work. I'm not saying that every 10 out of 10 guy has a shit personality, but more often than not, I hate to generalize, more often than not, if you're going for the most desired men, he has a lot of options. If you know you're probably going to get jealous, why are you even putting yourself in that situation? You're absolutely going to be miserable your entire life. So why even put yourself in that situation? I saw this TikTok and I resonated with it so much. It's actually based on science, and I probably talked about this in another video, but she was saying how men are a net negative. Scientifically, the people that live the longest are single women without kids. We are the happiest subgroup in the world. Single women don't have kids. Women that have kids and have a husband end up living less. So you already know that he's taking years off of your life just by being with him, okay? Any guy. So you might as well go for the guy who has something to offer you besides just aesthetically pleasing, okay? Someone who's actually going to make you happy, someone who's going to provide and protect for you and has the aligned values. That's what you want to go for, not the guy that is so attractive that you're like, I know I'm going to get my heart broken. I can't help it because he's hot. First of all, looks are going to fade. And I think that the more juvenile your brain is, which I'm not calling anyone out here because I've been here and that's what it is. I think looks become the biggest aspect that you're looking at because you're like, I can't be with someone ugly. I need to be with the hottest person, or their face needs to be perfect. I just think the more that I've grown up, the less looks matter as much. Obviously, you want to be attracted to your person, but they're not everything in the world. It's not the most important thing, because looks are going to fade. And also, the more you're around someone, the more their looks will fade. The more you're with that person, their looks start to become something that you're just used to. It's not even this, he's the hottest person ever, because eventually you'll start to see that person for who they are internally, and then you'll have a completely different view of them, and they won't be as attractive as you've painted them out to be. Because when they're so attractive, you give them qualities, this halo effect, that you give them qualities that they don't even deserve because you find them attractive. Pretty privilege is a real thing for men too, okay? Just saying, when you do go for the hot guy, these types of women feel like you have to work to feel loved, to be rewarded in love. It stems from a place of not feeling worthy enough. So you end up trying to attract these really hot guys, because once you get them, you'll feel validated that you are enough. In all honesty, you are enough just being in general. And I think the only way this really works is if the girl is also a 50 out of 10. I don't understand. I think this is a whole different subsection when there's like a 12 out of complete model, beautiful, perfect people. I just don't understand it, like how they work together. And I'm not even going to try to understand it. But my point here is that you want to feel valued, you want to feel loved, you want to feel like you are enough, especially in a relationship. So the more you find someone, the sweet spot, the medium ugly guy that will treat you right, is husband material, instead of going for that dreamy guy that on paper is beautiful, aesthetically pleasing, you want to go for the guy that's like maybe the 7, the 8 out of 10, is willing to give you the world and sees you as beautiful. Because the thing is, when a guy thinks that he is the prize, you're already losing in the relationship. The guy has to think that you are the prize, and you are the prize usually by being more beautiful than him. You have to be a level up or two from him in order for him to think, oh my God, I've won. I've gotten the prize. Because he will do things for pretty women. And if he finds you pretty, he'll do everything in the world for you. But if he thinks you're at his level or below his level in attractiveness, and I hate to be shallow, but like, if he thinks that you are below his level in attractiveness, he's gonna seek outside. Men are visual. He thinks, oh, well, I have this person, yeah, sure, and maybe she does the world for me, but I can get whatever I want. So I'm gonna go outside of this and find whoever I want, and then also have this person who does everything for me. It is stressful, and it's just, to me, not worth it. But you have to ask yourself, is this the life that I want to live? That I feel like I'm constantly in competition with millions of other girls, that I feel like, maybe not even millions, but like, is that the world that you want to live in, that you're constantly on edge and not feeling like your best self because he doesn't make you feel beautiful because he's the pretty one to look at in a relationship? Fuck no. And usually these men aren't looking to settle down either. So even if you think that you have them, 9 times out of 10, they don't even want a relationship. Nor do they make the best husbands, or do they really have anything to offer, because they have the least stimulating personalities. And not to mention, the hot guy usually sucks in bed because usually, because again, he's never had to work a day in his life to get what he wants. He wants to feel the pleasure, all of the pleasure. He thinks it's about him. He always has thought it's about him, because people always make it about him. And so when you are in that situation with a guy, they don't know what to do because they've never really had to like perform. They've never really had to do much. All they've really had to do is sit back and take it. So just a little side point, take it for what it is, or don't, leave it on the floor. But my full opinion, stop going for the hot guy. If you are looking for your husband, stop going for the hot guy. But that is it for this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed. I hope we got some kind of value out of it. Definitely a shorter one. Guys, I will see you all next Tuesday, and we'll chat then.